All right, Tiago.
Yeah. Hey, Nickolette. Thanks for sharing your process. I've never seen anything fashion design related, I think, even in college. So pretty exciting to see it. My question is actually based on a life experience I just had. So I had a couple fit t-shirts designed for a personal trainer, and I had a very specific green in there. And then when it was print, it was not there anymore. So I'm actually curious to see how do know actually how do you communicate color to the print guys, the print companies? Is there like a specific color coding? I tried giving them CMYK. I tried giving hex codes for reference, but I felt like my lack of experience in this area was what made the result not very good, and I would not like to have that happen again.
Well, in the software, um, it depends on the needs. Like I know there are companies that use the 3D software that I use much more detail, and we do have the ability to use the CMYK codes and all like that. But ultimately, I know for us, they typically are working with mills, right? So they're working with fabric mills, and their communication is coming through other channels. So they may be looking at swatches or swatch books, and they're saying it's this green right here, and they're being very specific. The print team, I think, has a bit more where they're looking at things in real life together, and they're agreeing on colors. And then those are created. There's a representative that's like an image that's being sent to the factory with these are the placements of the print, but there's also a back channel communication saying these are our colors, and they're often still done the old way. They're being sent like patch tests of things, where they might be sending them a swatch or a pre-mill of something where they're sending a sample of it to the design teams to look at internally to approve those. So it's a lot of back and forth, and it's behind the scenes. It's not something I typically get into, but it's usually still done the old school way, where you're going to look at a one-off and approve the color. So if you have an issue with something you're doing a t-shirt on, you're going to want to see some sort of one-off. Even if it's just on a piece of scrap fabric, you're going to want to see what it is that you have designed before it's finalized. And you have, 100 shirts made and they're not right. So sometimes we're dealing with factories and producers out of the country, and it does slow the process down a little bit. And it does add to your shipping and all like that. But that is still the only way, unless you're dealing with a local supplier, that is the only way to assure that you're getting the colors that you think you still need to look at them in person.
Yeah, I feel like it was a bit naive. We got it from a big print distributor, and I don't feel like I should probably look for a smaller print shop that I could see approve and try to do it before I got a box of 100 t-shirts that looked weird. So lesson learned for sure. Thanks for the answer.
Yeah, I feel like those bigger, those sort of send, you put your order in online and have them printed out and get, bulk. I think they're meant to run a certain way. They're not really meant for the more boutique interests, for something like what you might be interested in doing, or you need to create a relationship with that bigger company and know that they are going to be able to work with you to give you a sample, send you off a print proof, basically, is what you would be looking for in the mail, a print proof.